The story of Rome's founding is one of the most captivating legends of the ancient world. A tale woven from threads of betrayal, survival, rivalry, and destiny. At its heart are two infants, Romulus and Remus, whose origins are steeped in myth, mystery, and intrigue. Unlike the tales of cities born from noble heroes or wise sages, Rome's genesis is tangled in the shadows of abandonment and the wilds beyond civilization. Let's rewind to the ancient kingdom of Alba Longa. The twin brothers, Romulus and Remus, were not simply orphans lost to fate. Their story begins with royal blood, descendants of Aeneas, the legendary Trojan hero. Their mother, Rhea Silvia, was a Vestal virgin, sworn to chastity, but she was said to be visited by the god Mars himself, resulting in the birth of the twins. This divine parentage set the stage for a life destined for greatness or destruction. But ambition and fear often walk hand in hand. The twins' uncle, Amulius, had seized the throne from their grandfather, Numitor. Fearing the prophecy that promised his downfall at the hands of his nephews, Amulius ordered the infants to be cast into the Tiber River, hoping that the water would seal their fate and secure his reign. Yet, fate had other plans. The basket, carrying Romulus and Remus, was swept ashore by the river's gentle currents, not drowned by its depths. There, on the muddy banks under the wild Roman sky, the most iconic episode of their legend unfolds. Enter the she-wolf, Lupa in Latin, who discovered the helpless infants and, in a scene that would echo through millennia, suckled and cared for them as if they were her own cubs. But here's where history and myth blur their lines. The word lupa in ancient Rome carried a double meaning. While it certainly referred to a she-wolf, was also a colloquial term for a prostitute. Some scholars suggest that the she-wolf may have been a compassionate woman of ill repute who took the abandoned children in, giving them shelter and sustenance when the world turned its back. Whether wolf or woman, the symbol remains potent. The future founders of Rome, nurtured by society's outcasts or nature's fiercest mother. Eventually, the twins were discovered by Faustulus, a shepherd, and his wife Acca Laurentia, who raised Romulus and Remus as their own sons. Growing up among shepherds, the brothers developed not only strength and cunning, but also an unwavering bond. Yet, their royal lineage and the injustices of their past could not remain hidden forever. Upon reaching adulthood, the twins learned the truth of their birthright. They returned to Alba Longa, rallied supporters, and overthrew the tyrant Amulius, restoring their grandfather Numitor to the throne. With their familial duty fulfilled, Romulus and Remus set their sights on a new ambition: to found a city of their own, a city that would outshine all others in glory and power. But destiny, it seems, demands sacrifice. The twins could not agree on where to build their city, nor who should rule it. Romulus favored the Palatine Hill, Remus the Aventine. Seeking guidance from the gods, they engaged in the ritual of augury, watching for signs in the flight patterns of birds. Remus saw 6 vultures first, but Romulus claimed to see 12 soon after. The dispute over divine favor quickly spiraled into deadly rivalry. The details of Remus's death vary with each retelling. Some say Remus mocked Romulus by leaping over the new city's walls, challenging his brother's authority and taunting the sacred boundaries. In a fit of rage, Romulus struck Remus down, declaring that none would ever cross Rome's walls without consequence. Others suggest that Romulus's supporters killed Remus, but the end result is the same. The birth of Rome was stained with fraternal blood. From this violent rift, Romulus became the first king of Rome, giving his name to the city. He gathered refugees, exiles, and outcasts, welcoming all who sought a new life. In time, Rome would become a melting pot of peoples, cultures, and ideas. Its strength drawn from diversity as much as from its founders' iron wills. But was any of this real? It's easy to dismiss the legend as pure myth. The image of infants suckled by a wolf seems fantastical, a fairy tale concocted to explain the city's origins. Yet, even if we strip away the supernatural elements, the story reflects deeper truths about Rome's identity. Rome was a city forged by struggle, by those who survived betrayal and exile, who seized fate by the throat and bent it to their will. The ambiguity of the she-wolf, the themes of abandonment and adoption, the rivalry that ended in fratricide, all these echo the harsh realities of the ancient world. Power was never peacefully handed down. It was earned, seized, and defended, often with blood. The legend also speaks to Rome's values: resilience, ingenuity, and the idea that greatness often rises from humble or troubled beginnings. Whether Romulus and Remus were nursed by a wild beast or a marginalized woman, the story celebrates the survival of the fittest, both in body and spirit. As the centuries passed, Romans embraced their mythic origins, immortalizing Romulus and Remus in art, coinage, and architecture. The she-wolf became a symbol of the city, and the story was retold again and again, each generation finding new meaning in its mysteries. So, myth or truth? Perhaps a little of both. The founding of Rome, like the founding of any great nation, is more than a series of facts. It's a narrative that shapes identity, inspires loyalty, and endures through the ages. Whether you believe in the literal truth of wolf mothers and divine interventions, or see the legend as a poetic reflection of human ambition and folly, the story of Romulus and Remus endures because it captures the imagination. It reminds us that history is not always what it seems on the surface. Sometimes the facts blur into legend, and the legend reveals a deeper truth about who we are and where we come from. The next time you think of Rome, remember its unlikely beginnings. A city born not from the glory of heroes, but from the wild hope of two abandoned children, a contentious brotherhood, and a destiny that defied the odds. So, what do you think? Is Rome's origin a myth, a veiled truth, or something in between? The debate continues, just as Rome's story continues to inspire. Stay curious, keep questioning, and watch for the next chapter in the world's most gripping stories.